Good morning, traders. I'm excited to get this day started. Yesterday at Start Swing Trading, of course, I continued going. I even did some day trading action on Start Swing Trade. So if you guys don't watch that show, you might be missing out, but I'll tell you what, I'll review it right now and tell you guys about a trade. It isn't looking too bad. Keeps going higher right now, and it could be AI related. Smash the like. Let's get to it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning, traders, and I will let you guys know Zunaid is here, but Ryan will be out for today and tomorrow. So looks like tomorrow you only get me, but today you got Zunaid and I. So don't worry about it, team. We'll be getting after it, ready to go and see what we can get into today. Let me go ahead and take that Benzinga off in the corner. Definitely throw up the QR code if you guys want to check out Moomoo today. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market right now. I'm just going to bring up my TC because I'm just taking a look at JPM right now. I just wrapped up pre-market prep. Going to look to see if JPM comes down today through that 135. Very important outlook there. Of course, let's talk about the swing trade. Google, baby, grabbed it yesterday. And you guys know, I'm not a buyer that buys too much at highs, like the high of the day. But yesterday, I stepped up to the plate and did that same trade there. Sometimes I feel like you can do this. The big thing is, why are you doing it, right? Why am I jumping after a stock at the high of the day? This case, it was why an AI mention, right? And to me, if it has a catalyst, then it might make sense, right? You just got to know what that catalyst is. And if you feel that that catalyst is just going to drive the stock so far that you can't even get into entry today. And that's how I felt like Google could do. So yesterday I grabbed it at 110.89. And you guys see it, 110.91 here was the intraday high when we were coming back through that. And I tried to get it right before then, and I did. 89s, boom. And it broke out. I was able to sell some yesterday into the 113s, but we're already to 115.36 today. This is a nice overnight 4% trade. This is what I talk about on swing trading, right? Like this was not a hard trade at all. Didn't even take much downside action here. So these are the types of trades that really put me a step forward and why I feel like I do a lot more swing trading than even day trading, right? Why? Because motions like this, catalyst behind it, good technicals through the levels of high of the day. And now I could do what? Take profits here out the gates, take the 4% and run, or I could let it keep working. And where am I? I'm far away from my entry. So that makes me a lot more comfortable getting to the open. All right, we'll see what happens there on Google and some of the other trades. I did take another swing trade in NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Right now, I'm slightly down. I got this at 14. I can add to this position, but this is one that I'm trading a lot off the 1 hour chart. Look at the 1 hour pattern here. Of course, we've seen recently RCL really kind of take off lately. So I went after another cruise line. I couldn't get Carnival Cruise because I felt like it was already a little bit too high there in the 1050s. I would wait for a pullback below 10. But I said, you know what? NCLH, nice looking pattern here. At least I know where my kind of out could be below, let's say 1350s or 1325 area. So from here on out, I want to see a nice little pop towards the 1475. I'll see what happens there in Norwegian Cruise Lines. And if you think about it overall on the daily, this isn't too far from pandemic pricing, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to be close to that levels and give myself an opportunity for it to come up through this big trend line, which is a move towards 16 and 18. So I'll keep this one on my radar, Norwegian Cruise Line. This is the longer term swing. It could be even weeks that this takes. And that's what I like about Norwegian. It's very slow moving. I can control my risk and try to let it stair step higher. All right, that's going to be my outlook for Norwegian, of course. I will let you guys know about Moomoo. And right now, I'm still sitting at the 512s, 512.62. Don't have a day trade for today. I will have a day trade tomorrow. So look forward to the small account challenge taking off and going to the next level tomorrow. But for today, I'm just going to use the charting, use some of the services. And I did find some new analytics that I do want to share with you guys on Moomoo. But I'll kick it to you, Zunaid. What are you looking at today, my friend?
Yeah, we're just gonna quickly just go over my Moomoo account here on the short
All right.
account challenge. So I didn't realize I was doing this, but apparently I'm swinging AI. The calls that I purchased yesterday, $20 calls. These went all the way to like a dollar something. I didn't sell because I was looking for $1.25. But nonetheless, we're kind of we're not really popping on AI just yet. Though we'll see how this one goes. I mean, that 2060 level has just been a pain for us. So there's the Moomoo account that I've got going on, and I'll also go ahead and share this one here. So this is AI. You can see the 2059. Let me go ahead and move this out the way. Let's just go ahead and do this and draw it together. So you can see how once it went ahead and popped above 20, it just has not been able to break this 2059 level. So that's what I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I'll just kind of leave it there. That's what I'm kind of keeping an eye on. See if we can get a pop above this area. That would be great. Make a run to there's to 21s, and then we can hopefully go ahead and sell our AI contract. Taking a look at the SPY, excuse me. Looking for a break here. Let's just kind of, again, draw it together. You had a couple of times where they just could not break this 415 level. Even in pre-market right now, they're struggling. So that's definitely a level to keep an eye on. I've already got my alerts set over there, ready to rock and roll. The 410 level didn't hold, but the 409 did. So that was interesting to me. And then to the upside, we went. Nice little move. Matter of fact, if you can, if you're a person who likes to draw trend lines and things like that, you had a nice little downward trend break right there. And then it kind of went to the upside. No real retest, but it just nice, smooth to the upside. We went on that. Amazon finally above 110. I've tried to play this like 3 times and finally made money on the last attempt as it broke. Again, same thing as if you wanted to kind of draw a trend line there. You had a pop above, retest right back there, and then to the 110s that we went. Taking a look at this one, though, I wanted to come back to 110s. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is have see if we can get some orders here ready. We'll purchase about 100 shares, risk about $50 to make $50 on that one there. So 110 is where we're looking to buy some Amazon on that one. $100 level held on. Wait, what? Did they have Oh, they did have earnings. I was like, why in the world? So $100, by the way, before this collapse, went ahead and held on Disney. So again, those whole numbers, keep an eye on them because we got a chance to play that in the afternoon. But here you go. You have a level already set. So if you believe, hey, Disney is going to the downside, well, there's one level you need to crack, and that's 95. You can see how many times it has held as support. So this is one play that is in my books if Disney wants to head a little bit lower. Keeping an eye now on Apple, the 174 level, same thing as yesterday. Couldn't break it here in the pre-market session either. So we'll keep an eye on this one and try to head its way towards the upside. My apologies. Let me see. Check out Google. I was waiting for this one to pop 110, and it did. But unfortunately, my entries were at like 110.05s and stuff, so I couldn't get filled. But that's a nice little move to the upside, popping a little bit more here in the pre-market session. To me, this one's already started to go. I don't really have a level that I would like to play this one, so I'm going to leave this one be. Taking a look at NVIDIA, you've got a clear level here on the 291. Same story. Couldn't break it pre-market, struggling to get above it as well. And if you're looking for downside support, this 285 area, this 284.50, 50 cent, you can see you have nice support there last time, and you got support there yesterday as well. So that's something to keep an eye on. That Tesla, I haven't played Tesla in quite some time. And to me, the 170 area is now still resistance. You can see resistance right there. Haven't even tested it. So that's a lower high that it just made on that side of things. So keep an eye on that 170 level if you want to head to the upside on Tesla. So we're going to go ahead and set our alerts right there. Airbnb. This one had a nice move as it tested VWAP, went to the upside, came back, broke below VWAP, came back, and then made its move to the upside. I think 115 is where it struggled. 115.50 is where it struggled. Not really anywhere I want to play this one, so I'm going to leave this one be on Airbnb. And of course, we talked about AI, the $20 area right over here, but I want to see a break of approximately 20.63. We've got less than a minute left to go here in the market, less than about 35 seconds. So if you have any tickers you want to take a look at, let me know. On oil, we are starting to head to the south. You can see we tested VWAP at approximately 7 to 6:30 this morning when I definitely was not awake. And to the downside we go. A volume pressure came in there, but we'll see how things react once the market goes ahead and opens. If you want to go short, I think the closer you get it to VWAP in the previous close, the better. Hood. I haven't seen Hood in a minute. Maybe you've got room to about $10, and then maybe you'll face some resistance. And here's Disney as we go ahead and get ready for the open. So let's take a look at Disney. There it is, looking to flush below that number that we talked about. A part of me just wants to, you know what? Let me see if I want to as soon as it kind of gets up. Oh, come on. Wanted to go ahead and short it as soon as it got to like the 94.90s and it said, nah, we're good. We're just going to go ahead and come on, come up a little bit. Come on, give me a chance to short. I'm going to risk about 50 cents, by the way. If it does give me a chance to go ahead and short this one. There we go. Come on. Come on. Bro. All right. We'll see if we get filled on that. I'm just going to go ahead for safety reasons. Should I put my stop losses in? Okay, I think we're in. Why am I not filled? What's happening here? Anyone know? Let me reload this. That is so weird. Okay, something's up. I'm not sure what's going on. I need to take a look at my account to see if I'm short 100 shares or short 200 or short 0. What is happening? All right, looks like I'm now short 100 shares. Oh, okay. Looks like I was short 200. Then our profit targets hit, and we're just going to close this puppy out as well. There we go. Hey, Ryan in the house. What's up, Ryan? By the way, Ryan wants everybody to know he did post it on social media, so make sure you follow him for the small account challenge updates. Ryan is letting y'all know that he did take an ATVI call on the small account yesterday. I believe it was a $80 call going out to June or something like that, but don't rely on me. Please go ahead and check out his Twitter. You can see it down there below on the lower thirds. It is at rfaluna. As Disney, yuck, to the downside move. We made some money on that trade. Now we're headed to the south side on the SPY here as well. Are we going to find a little bit of a bounce at that 410 level? Let's see about any stocks that we want to short. Disney obviously is already just gone to the downside. There you go. Yep. So Ryan says the $80 calls that expires on June 2nd on ticker ATVI. And I believe that was off of some news about the EU letting it go through and things like that. So again, check his Twitter out. It's in the lower third. NVIDIA headed to the downside here as well. SPY, where are you going to find a little bit of a bounce, if anywhere? Stocks that are relatively weak. One of them is obviously Disney. As you can see, that's down about 7.5% compared to 0.5% on the SPY itself. And then you've got Microsoft headed to the downside, the 308 level, finding a little bit of support now, are we? You can see how that held as support. Bounce right there. Matter of fact, this AI trade, I don't think it's going to work. So I'm going to close my Moomoo out. One moment, please. Trade. All right, I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and see if there's any other tickers y'all want to go ahead and check out. Please let me know. Taking a look at Google as that one's breaking below 115s on that side. Microsoft now cracking below 308. So just a straight downward move on the SPY. For 4 straight minutes, we've seen red candles. Where do we find support? See, the degenerate folks would be like, oh, 4 red candles in a row. This one's got to be green. And then it'll be like the smallest green that they got. Pola. Take a look at Pola here. 172 below VWAP. You found support here a little bit, but to me, I'd rather play the breakout above 2 on this one. Let's see if there's a little bit of a trend here to draw or not. I feel like there is. So you can go ahead and rely on that trend. And if you go ahead and break, I would say 166, I go ahead and get out. But that's what I've got for you on POLA. SBFM. I feel like I know this stock. Might have interviewed them, if I'm being honest. Now I'm going to have to check. Is it halted? It is halted. All right. So this one is halted. It is above the pre-market highs, right? So it is above right here. I would expect it to make a pop. However, in case it comes down. Okay, one thing I hate about TradeStation is it doesn't let me here, let me go to my actual SBFM. SBFM. I want to go ahead and get approximately 1,000 shares at 102 limit, obviously.
All right, guys, for my Google
There
trade,
it is. Thank you.
just to give you guys the idea, what I'm going to do here, since I'm up 4.5, is I'm going to look to hold to 115 pullbacks. Anything below that will get me out. But for right now, it seems like it wants to climb the trend. So I'll put a stop in like the 14.95, 114.95. That's probably what I'll do right here. And just to kind of save me if it does turn around on the day. But if it wants to go higher, why not just let it keep climbing? So I'm doing 14.95. I'll do a stop there. If it wants to get me out, it'll get me out.
By the way, we've got Ryan in the chat. Mitch, he says hello.
What? That's what's up. Good to see that. So I'm dealing with, of course, a lovely, lovely Hendrix mess. He knocked over all his food, so pebbles everywhere. So I'm gonna go handle that right quick. I'll be back, and trust me, I was doing it, and I'm like, no, Google.
No.
I came back. I looked at the clock, so I set that stop there. Google's looking good here. Let's see if it goes higher. I'll kick it to you, Danae.
Yeah, no problem. We'll go ahead and hold things down here. So taking a look at the SPY again, trying to get above that 411. If you're looking to short it, you could try VWAP here, but for me, there's no best entry. Matter of fact, that SBFM, let me go ahead and put that puppy up here. SBFM. All right. So again, unhalted. It's above pre-market highs. My game plan is to purchase 1,000 shares at approximately 102. 102, because you've got the VWAP and you've got the whole number of $1 right there as well. So that's why I'm looking to go ahead and get that fill. We'll see if it ends up going that way or not. Let's see what else we've got. Disney, I mean, oh my, just straight down tested that 95 level and said, yeah, nah, bruh, I'm good. Move of about 250 to the downside on Google. Tough. I don't even know if I want to short it near VWAP. I guess I could, but I don't know. Take a look at Meta. As that one's green. It's barely tested the previous close. 15-minute looking indecisive. My eyes are still on this SBFM, so bear with me as I'm going to look to see if this one opens up anytime soon. AI bounced from 20. Now near VWAP. Again, I do not have that contract, unfortunately. But I do have an alert set, so I'd kind of load up a little bit if it did pop up above 21. I am out of Google. Not me. I'm just reading the chat. All right, nice little pop on Google. I think Mitch was long. If he was long, hello. Ryan says he's pop short. He'd pop. Can't talk. He would short pops if possible. Come on, SBFM. What you gonna do? Apple. Look at Apple, right? We talked about that 114 level. Opens up, tests that 114 and says, nah, I'm okay. I'm allergic. I'm allergic to new highs. Let's see what Carvana's doing. Chat, you guys know that I've been on a car hunt. I found a car that I liked on CarMax. It was a 2023 Kia K5 EX with about like 11,000, 13,000 miles on it. It's in like Chicago, I think, or somewhere. I don't know. And I'm about to purchase it, but I'm like, wait, let me just make sure there's nothing wrong with the vehicle because you can't see it online. So I call up CarMax and I have them to have their people check in Chicago, and everything's good except it smells like heavy smoke. And so unfortunately, I couldn't pull the trigger. But SBFM to the upside, we're moving. So we're not going to get our dollar fill anytime soon. I am going to go ahead and cancel this. Maybe we get a fill here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a much smaller size. I'm going to take 500 shares here. And oh my God, how is it my fault that we can't properly do 1.13? 500 shares. Thank you. All right, SPFM moving to the upside. Now let's go ahead and take a look left and see where we can find a little bit of resistance. It's already kind of broken this area. That's fantastic. So this resistance area, which you can see a few times, 131, it's already popped above that. The next one that I see is approximately this 146. But we are halted once again. Pack W. Let's check out Pack W, y'all. As that one is halted. We've got a halt first. What is that? $4? Yep, $4 pop. I'm not sure how I'd play this one, so I'm going to stay away from it. Kia Stinger. Okay. I might have to look into that. I've seen a couple of them. I'll check it out. What do you like about the Kia Stinger? It looks cool, but to me, it's kind of like, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I'd be open to it. My budget was about 30 grand, but now it's like 30, 33 grand, 30, 35 grand. It just depends.
Nothing like coming
Ozone
back
generators.
to good old money, baby.
Yeah, we were just complimenting you on your trade on Google. Go ahead and review it.
Go. All right, up there to 117s now, team. This is up 5.5% now. So as we keep going higher, the thing that's going to be important for me is the overall market, right? So you see the drop there, but the Qs is what matters here. Do we come back to VWAP? If we can come back to VWAP, not break the lows right now, I'm probably just going to keep riding this because I think you're going to start seeing kind of buy the dippers coming in here if we can get this to push back up. So Amazon looks interesting right now on the buy the dip. Looking around to see what else is on the buy the dip. Let's see, Apple is on the dip. Tesla, right above VWAP. That looks interesting for me. Looking around, AMD. AMD is a little weaker today. Let's see what else is kind of in the week. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is an interesting one to keep an eye out. Let's see if this reverses back to the upside. If this doesn't, then you might see Google start slowing down. But we're already at 117.50s. 6%, a little bit above that. I'm just going to take it because that's just too good of a trade now at some point. But I'll let you guys know. I'm pretty close to getting to that 6%, and I'll just take it and run. This is not the market to battle with too much. You do get sometimes these nice expansion moves, but to tell you the truth, 6-7%, I'll tell you one thing. I'd be mad if I gave it up. So let's see the KRE trade, right? That's the most important thing. Banks coming back. I think the market comes back today. Look at KRE right now. That actually looking strong. Bank of America looking strong out the gates. JPM now back above VWAP. That tells me that we can reverse the market right back up higher. Q's coming up right now. SPY coming back. So SPXL was one way I played this yesterday. I can go for the like kind of the Q's also if I wanted to take that. But of course, I've been playing kind of more of the bullish tune here. Maybe it's SOXL on the pullback, right? That's another way to take a look at it right now. But we'll see what else is moving out there. You guys call out some trades if you guys see anything. All right, let me stop screen. Let me share my Moomoo.
I'm still keeping an eye on Disney as that one's rejecting the 93.50s, which is close to VWAP. SPY.
A lot of red this morning. A lot of red. You can see it with my Moomoo here using the heat map. And of course, it's still under the Explore tab. You can see a lot of red. A lot of red. Let's see this start going into the green. Seeing if anything else is in the green. Smaller names up. Pola. MINM. JAGX. PRPL, Purple Innovation. I think that's a mattress company. ORGO. Interesting names that are moving today. That PRPL. Let me see how that one is. That's a $3 name right now. Yes, it is the mattress stock. Has had 3 ride-ups to 330. Let me go to the hourly chart on this. Love the hourly chart on the 280s there as that keeps holding. Has had a nice little push up to recollect around 295s. I feel like that's going to be in the area where you got a nice recollection. And that's on Purple Innovations here. I'll show you guys that right now. Let me zoom in here. You guys can see it on the 1 day. Let's go to the 5 minute here. You can see how it's made multiple attempts trying to get up there towards the 320s. Wanted to reload around 295s. That's where it reloaded this morning. Let's see if it can hold around 298s now on pullbacks. Looking at it, PRPL. Purple Innovations. All right. Let's see if I can get it below 3. That's not a bad one. Maybe take a day trade. All right, there's Google now trying to get another expansion up here. I'm going to look for this last little push. Maybe it gets to 118 and then taking it and running, man. Bidding action. Let's go. Let's see if I can get it through this 1775. It's slowing down a little bit.
SBFM makes a move towards the downside. And now I think that one's about to be halted again to the downside. We shall see.
There's a nice push there for Google.
Yep, halted again. SBFM to the downside.
SBMF?
SBFM.
FM. I got you. There it is.
Sun Bravo Frank
Sunshine
Mary.
Bravo Pharma. Got that one, man. Definitely halt on the downside at 120s. You got 117.80s there in Google, but it's been struggling here in the 75s. Let's go to the quotes. Let's see if there's anything just waiting up there, and that's what's going on. Not seeing much there, but it also went back into the 60s. So there's a bigger order there, 500. Of course, 500 shares at Google is pretty significant about. There's not too much there. It seems more like bidding action on the downside pullbacks, but just got to keep watch on Google. Didn't want to get there towards the 118. I'm just sitting at 6% right now. I'm just considering if I'm going to, I don't want it to come back all the way to VWAP, right? That's not going to be a good move there for me. So I'm just giving it a chance here to hold kind of the 9 EMA pullbacks. I'll show you guys the EMAs right now. Let's take the Bollinger Band off. Let's go closer here. See the EMAs are right behind it on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1. All right, so you see how the kind of the 10 EMA right here, that light blue line, that's what I'm pretty much using right now. Another analysis tool that I wanted to show you guys here is look at the financials. And the financials here, I really like the way they show the financials. So if you want to do a little fundamental analysis on any stock, I recommend checking out Moomoo. A lot of nice, interesting financial estimates, nice graphics here for the balance sheet. You can see things represented graphically, which could definitely help you understand what's really going on in the company. So whether it be Google, whether it be kind of different names, I definitely tell you to check it out. Use the analyst tool on the right-hand tab, and then make sure you're hitting into the financials so you can understand what's going on. All right. I'm just keeping an eye on Google right now because that's the most important thing right now is just gaining this gain and then looking to see if the Qs come back to VWAP. They rejected VWAP here just recently. So I'll show you guys the Qs right quick. Qs rejecting the VWAP there, coming right back down. So I'm looking to see if this is going to catch a little bit of a bounce and put a big green candle now. Google just battling here right at the kind of the EMAs. I want to see if it can catch here the bounce around 17.25s. If not, I'll take the money and run.
Kind of looking around, but I personally just don't see anything that I like. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of any of the action here. Let's see actually if we can
This is the
break.
bounce spot here for me on Google. This is where I'd be expecting the bounce, and I'll zoom in a little bit. So you see how the blue line there runs right into it. Now I'll look for the green bar back up. If I get another red bar coming down to the next EMA, yeah, I got to get out.
I'm going to try a short on PayPal here.
Taking the money and running there in Google, celebrating that. That's a really nice overnight win there for Google. I could stay in it for 118s, but that's not going to do me much more either. Pullbacks below the 9 EMAs. I got out there. Could recover, but I'll take the money and run. Not a bad trade there on Google. Not at all. Really nice cushion on the day now. NCLH, another one that, of course, I've talked about. I want to be able to add to this one underneath, but it went really fast today. It's already in the green. I'm just going to leave it alone here. Look to see if it can push higher. NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Line, the only swing I have on now as I've taken the Google gain. All right, let's keep it going. It could test. I agree. But, I mean, let's just be honest, guys. 5.8% overnight. I'll take it on a stock like Google. All right, let's keep going. Let's get back to the charts. Let's take a look at what else is moving on the day. I will take a look at the sector outlook, see what I see there. I see pretty much everything in the red. Nothing really in the green from the open. So that's where it gets a little bit confusing. That's why I'll look at a stock like Amazon to see if it catches support. Amazon has a lot of support underneath it right now, but it could also break, right? It's just going sideways here. I'm looking to see if we can make a move back above the 110.90s here towards the 111. And then I could risk off of maybe 110.70s for a move back towards 111.80s and higher. Be about 80 cents to 30 cents to get 80 cents. That's not too bad. It's close to 3 to 1. All right, let's start seeing if the Q's reverse here. It starts to look good here for Amazon. It's also 9:51. Let's see if we get a reversal from the earlier red period to start turning into the green. There's the 111s now. Now I'm looking for pullbacks into the 90s to get in here on Amazon for the day trade action. Let's see if I can get it here. Just need a pullback below 111. Kicking it to you, man.
SPFM, I did go ahead and get filled. Where's my, oh my God, I hate this rounding nonsense, but I did go ahead and get filled at 113, currently trading at about 116, I guess.
Amazon taking off there. I'm looking for pullbacks to get in here. We'll see if I get it. Looking for some pullbacks at Amazon, but it's already taken off on me, so it was a little slow there at the 111s. Looked for a little bit of a pullback, never got it.
Looking to take my gains at approximately the 130 level if we can get there on SBFM.
Have a good one. Stay focused. If you're out of here, no worries, man. Sometimes you got to get out of here early. Sometimes you can hang in here longer. That's what it's about. What's my take on Airbnb? I liked it yesterday. I really did. I wanted it. It was one of my stocks I talked about pre-market on pre-market prep. But just, like always, right? Sometimes you can't watch every stock, right? I took other plays. I took Unity. Unity actually gave me a nice little gain at the end of the day, which gave me a really nice day overall. It was a battle type of day. I kept staying just a little bit green. And that's a little bit frustrating when you're just a tiny bit green, right? Because I was looking to have that nice little green bump up day. Had it good at the end there. I took some profits on the Google as part of the day. And then I took some profits on Unity. And you guys could watch all that on Start Swing Trade. That was live, baby. There's Amazon taking off, man. And just didn't give me a chance there. If I would have gone in on the first action, but I like to look for numbers like, let's say 111, and then look for it to pull back right quickly. And then I can get in on the pullback action. No pullback action. Bunch of bidders stepping up there. And look at the trade. It's almost already to the outlook. It's just more long. I couldn't get it, team. Shit happens, right? You know what I mean? I can't get upset about it if it did that reaction through the levels. So what does this tell me? What about Soxtel? I talked about this reversal before. Now it's starting to really start coming back. And I see 14 bottoming. I like that approach there. I'm taking a starter there, 14.05. Now I can look for pullbacks to add down towards 14 and risk off the low of the day, which is 13.96. Reversal style trading. I'm taking Sox out here. I'll show you guys that trade. Amazon's already almost did the trade there. So now that it comes back down there, 14s, 14.04. Let's see if I can get 14.02s, add a little bit more here. It's not even giving me the shot there. Let's see, come on. All right, just added a little bit there at 14.03.
I added some more shares to my PayPal short on another broker.
Got some there at 14.02s. Can still add. Got what? Two more orders that I can get into. So I'm sizing into Soxel right now. Looking to see if the Qs can reverse back to the upside and not break through the lows. Also, we've got to keep our eyes on the banks. KRE is still climbing. Bank of America is still climbing. That's why I think the market could reverse. The SPY is actually pretty heavy here, though. I will say that. Go back to Soxel, focus in here. Start to see the reversal signs. Reversal signs, a lot of the times, they're going to be double bottoms on the 5-minute. I don't have a double bottom, but I do have like a little bit of a harmony on the 5-minute here. I can show you guys that the 5-minute pattern here. So you guys see this. That's what I'm looking at right now. Let me see if I can do a little bit of a circle outlook here. Ooh, a little Elliott wave. Man, I got to start using the Elliott waves here.
Come on, PayPal. Just flush on down. It's going to be a tough level, though, since that was yesterday's low where we did find support.
All right, let's see if this can really start moving now. So you can see here, I'm okay with it testing kind of like the 1398, 1396. We really don't want to get, I don't want to see it go through that low right now. But a nice little harmony shows us that we could see turnaround from here. So that's another reason why I'm taking it.
All right, SBFM cracking the 112 support area almost. Could make its way to about here. Let me go and actually purchase 1,000 shares at 101.
Right. Like that move, added one more time. Got one more ad here for Soxel. All right. We'll see what happens if we start seeing this reversal. Amazon, did we get up there to the target? Boom, baby. I didn't get the trade, but I hope somebody did. Look at that move there in Amazon. Look at that. Was talking about it when it was here at the 80s. Said, look, I'm looking for that 111. Look at that 111 to 111 80s now taking off through 112s. Really nice trade there in Amazon. Hope somebody was able to nail that one.
SBFM still holding that 112 level. Again, we've got buys at 101 for 1,000 shares.
That was a nice one.
But I'll be perfectly fine not getting filled here and just getting filled on the 130 to the upside. PayPal still lingering around. Nothing happening on that side.
Rejecting the move above 1408s now for Soxel. Just keeping an eye on it. When I see it get towards 1410s now to start showing me conviction that it wants to get at least to VWAP, 1420s, and then back above.
What prop firm do you use, Walter? Come on. Just flush. Just flush, PayPal. Just flush.
Getting that red test on 5 minutes for Soxel there. So the candle goes from green to red now on the 5-minute basis. So I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, okay, so you can test the low of the day, but I wouldn't want to see it give me a red candle through that, because what would it look like? A bearish engulfing candle. So another thing that I'm looking at here is I'm looking for reversal signs. So I want to see body close above the prior bodies, the prior body, right? That would cause a green candle reaction. That would cause that you look at the bottom, which usually has a tendency of looking more like reversal action. So just wanted to talk about a little bit pattern action there today. Looks like Golden's in Amazon. Hey, everybody get that. Power to you, man. Like always, make your own decisions, make your own risk assessments. But I hope somebody was able to nail that. I couldn't do it. I just was slow. And hey, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. But that Amazon would have been a nice one. Here's a pullback there for Soxal. I'm just letting it test down right now because instead of adding the last share size here, I could add it right now, but I'll let it test the low of the day. If it tests that and goes through it, I never had to add the shares, right? But if it just tests it and turns back around to a green candle, as the momentum comes back, that's when I want to add it because now the momentum is coming back to my favor. So that's what I'm looking for in Soxal. Look how there's this 7,800 shares, 7,000 shares there just sitting there now, 8,500 shares now at the 14. But then there's this 8,400 shares there at the 1403, 5,000 behind that. We want to start seeing those get taken out there on the offer and the bids just lining up with big orders.
I don't know if you already answered this question or not, but you've got this one from Shannon. Mitch, when you trade Soxal, do you look at all the other stock related to that down movement or maybe just movement?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but to tell you the truth, Soxal is going to tell you that, right? Like, I don't, it's almost like a given, right? You see in Soxal go sideways, I'd be looking at like stocks like AMD. What are we doing there, right? You can look at that and you can see that AMD is going higher, right? That gives me a little bit more confidence in the position. I want to see the big boys like NVIDIA start slowing down. That's showing the same kind of reversal action here. NVIDIA is down at the bottom. AMD's already pushing back. So that makes me feel good. Remember, we've already talked also about the Qs. The Qs are just as important. Look how they're starting to really show some bottoming action now. And if it puts a big green bar to the upside, I'll be looking pretty good there in Soxal. Another thing could be just taking a peek at the opposite, right? SOXS. How is that looking compared to this? Does this look like it's going to pull back, or does this look like it's going to take off? You can see how it's playing the same play the opposite way. But honestly, all I really need to do is just look at Soxal action, right? And then that's telling me enough. Sideways action trying to reverse here off 1398s. Can we get to the 1410s and really show that reversal to the upside? We got another Harmy candle, and that's why I'm still watching this. But if we get a close on the 5-minute lower towards like 1390s, that would look like bearish action and probably get the hell out. All right, we'll see what else is going on out there, team. Stressla, says Cedric. I like that one, man. Stressla. I haven't heard that one. What you looking at, Zunaid? You looking at some more shorts action? What are you thinking?
Yeah, just kind of keeping an eye on this PayPal. It kind of popped up above VWAP, so that's where I'm keeping an eye on things as I'm short 100 shares here and a few hundred shares somewhere else. Just trying to see if this is going to go red on me. Well, it's already red on me, but if I'm going to need to close it out or not.
KRE pulling back a little bit with his SPY, little recent downturn here. Still in Soxal because it's just balancing here. So instead of adding the last size, I'm just waiting.
Yeah, Disney short, definitely beautiful at the 95. I guess my targets were just, I met target number 1, I met target number 2, but I didn't know it would go to target number 5, or else I would have held on to it.
Battling here at the 14s. There's a nice little turnaround with momentum. What do I went? I went from red to green bars now. I want to see this green bar expand to 1410 to show me that it really wants to reverse on Soxal. We'll see if I get it. And it goes just as quickly as it went green. It just goes right back to the red, right? And so this is why I'm not adding the remaining shares, because it just doesn't make sense here until it really starts showing me the momentum.
Mitch, you've got a longtime fan of the show asking us if you'd like to chart ATVI. Would you like to give it a shot? I'm looking at it right now.
I can take a look at it, but the thing about ATVI that we can just talk about, right, is that ATVI is all about the deal, right? And once we got deal news that I don't know, but it seems like they did because you can clearly take a look at that and see the action in ATVI today. And you can see how it's poking its head right now towards like 77. So did we get some kind of news? Let's take a look. How do we take a look at news? Of course, Benzinga Pro, man. Let's take a look there. Let's pull it up here. ATVI. Let's see what we're seeing on the news action here. I know EA has been going up lately, but did we get news on this? Looks like Ashon Media expands mandate on official content production partner of Overwatch League, Call of Duty League. So, of course, Call of Duty and Overwatch kind of dealing with
Yeah, I think
ATVI, so that
if
gave
you
it the
look at
lift.
the 1:40 p.m. from yesterday, ATVI EU Antitrust, I think that's where Ryan had purchased it off of. But it looks like he's saying that the news expected May 15th deadline is May 22nd. So I'll just kind of flip it over to my charts here real quick. Just in terms of charting, this is what I see short term for the past few days, right? It's got an upwards trend. And it's just because if I go to the daily, I mean, this thing's kind of all over the place just because of the news and things like that. So I'd be lying if I said I could make sense of this besides this little trend line to the upside. But just taking a look at a lot short term, that's what I currently have on it. Needs to break this 77 resistance area right there. By the way, SBFM looking to get back to the 130s.
All right, starting to see that down surge there on Soxel. So I'm about to get out there if it cracks 1390s, but it did break the low. Now I need to see if it recovers here, but it needs to recover right back towards 14 on the kind of the next 5-minute candle.
Yeah, and here, let me just go ahead and share this. So this is what Ryan was trying to say about the deadline is set for May 22nd on yay or nay. So there you go, bud.
There you go. That's an arbitrage style trade. Not really my style, but hey, go kill it, Ryan.
Can we just please come on down? Disney 92 battle? Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can get this back up 14. It's at 1395. Where the Q's at? Trying to come back to VWAP, but holding in still a bearish trend. I want to say this 5-minute closes above 325. It's kind of rejecting as soon as it gets up there, and a lot of wicks action at 35.10, seeming like there's some sellers there that it can't get through on the Qs. So be careful out there, team. You see here on the 5-minute, I'll show you guys this. You can see how there's a lot of wick action on the 5 minutes. A lot of wick action right there in the 325.08s. That shows me that there's some sellers waiting there or shorters that keep shorting into that pop. I want to see if we can close above that to show that we can squeeze them higher, but we'll see what happens if we can get back above 325 and close above that. You see every candle, it makes a move up, and then the bodies close on the bottom end of the range. That's not good looking sign right now. We'll see what happens. About to get stopped out on Soxel. Boom, out on Soxel. Small loss there. About just to put it in perspective, right? I like to put things in perspective. I always size more for swing trades. Just half, and not even a quarter of the sizing of the Google swing is about 3 times this loss. So you guys get perspective of how I do day trading action versus swing trading. Swing trading is where I use my capital. Day trading, they're really small positions. So it helps me not stress too much. Little loss here. And we'll see what happens on Soxel, if it could reverse or not. Amazon was the best one. That one would have been a really nice one. But hey, missed that one and never pulled back for me. Never really gave me the opportunity. I would just have to take it at the 111 as soon as it started going up. That would have been a good trade.
Unfortunately, PayPal still hanging around VWAP. I need it to break down and break this short-term trend line to the downside. A break of SPY 410 would definitely help. Let's just go ahead and revisit yesterday's low. You know, let's just go ahead and tap on 409s and see how that goes.
All right, looking around to see what else I can get into today. NCLH finally going into the green for me. We'll see if that can continue higher. SPY overall just leaking. It's just on the lows there, team. I think it's more about the banks maybe going to start turning around. So I'm looking at that to see if we can get a turnaround there. I could play FAZ right now, and that doesn't look too bad here for a little bit of a pop. See if I can get a pullback to 71 here and take a shot there with FAZ. Day trade action.
Come on. There's the 410 on SPY. Do we break it?
Nice look there on FAZ. You can see it loading up there, trying to get up there towards the 2280s. You could also look at Goldman Sachs for potential short. Kind of like how that's rejecting a lot here. But let's see if it takes the next step up. SPY, will it bounce back? Google, where'd the Googs go? It pulled back, but it made it to the 118 team. It made it to, oh, well, it missed it by a penny, 117.99. NVIDIA, it's pulling back, that's for sure. We'll see if it bounces or not. Industry's going into the green right now. Consumer cyclical going into the green. I'm watching that. It's just slightly in the green. Specialty retail helping there. So Amazon, JD maybe starting to get a little bit of a lift. Yeah, JD doesn't look too bad there. Nice little pullback on JD. Held the VWAP just recently. Let's see if it takes off to 38. How's Baba doing today? It's pulling back here after a nice little push towards 87. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see if it takes another leg higher. PDD looks like it's going higher also. So let me take a look at Baba. Baba looks interesting there. Have to risk off of like 86.30s. Of course, Baba would just be a day rent because I'm not swinging this by no means.
Here, let me Daddy Backstep is exactly what I'm looking at here. I assume you're not looking at the same thing. I want to go to close my PayPal short just now because I want to wait for this to go ahead and break because it is above VWAP, but I want it to come back to the downside, then I can short it one more time. SBFM below the levels of 113. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this one and see if we can get our buy at... Wait, what the? Oh, my God.
Getting socks out to come back. Could come right back after it if I wanted.
I closed my position there for a 2-cent loss, but I'm hoping to buy some more at 101. I just don't want to take the journey all the way down to 101 and then average down.
SPY looking like it wants lower, but it could reverse here really quickly. Max N pushing strong today. That stock gave really good guidance to solar stock, and it's pushing strong. Carrying a lot of solar right now. I'll show you guys that move. Look at that. Boom! Green candles, baby. I wish I was in that trade. Not even gonna lie.
PayPal looking to go right to
Nice little
green.
trend.
Up against a previous close.
Foxel back to 14. Started to reverse a little bit there. SPY slowing down a little bit. Now starting to come back a little bit. We'll see if it gets a nice little push. ARE, does that one higher? It's back to VWAP here. Can it push up? Get right back up. FAZ was an annoying one yesterday, man. That thing just rocketed out the gates, and I got out of it because I was a little bit into the red, and it actually gave a really nice move. So I'm looking at this trade right now. You guys see the setup on the 5-minute. So we'll see if it takes off there. That's FAZ. This is the bearish outlook on banks. So I'd want to see banks come down, and you're seeing JPM right now. It's coming down below VWAP. Bank of America starting to pull back to the VWAP. So I'm looking to see if like KRE comes down also through that VWAP and goes lower, and then the FAZ could take off.
Bounce from the 410 level, 50-cent bounce. VWAP is approximately near 411s.
There you go. I hope somebody still makes it on Google. I'm not mad that I missed like 1% or something. You know, if it goes up to like, let's say 160s, well, hey, so be it. It's a swing. We got a lot more than just taking the open, at least. That's one thing I'll be happy about. There's the pullback for FAZ. So I'm looking at it right now to see what happens at JPM, to see if it just takes off to the upside or does it come right back to the downside. So I'm looking at some of the banks to see, did they give me a tail here?
All right, looks like we did go ahead and get filled on SBFM at $1. Stop loss for me is going to be approximately here 10 cents. Oh, it's going to do that annoying thing, isn't it? Nope, we should be good. Perfect. So we'll see if we can get a bounce back to 111s. Lose 100, make 100. Which way do we go on SBFM? And of course, our PayPal trade, we're out of it, but still looking for the short there if it can break this trend line. Doesn't help when the SPY gets a little bit of a jump, but what's it going to do at VWAP is the question.
All right, so team, I'm looking for one more pullback to an FAZ here towards around 2265, 2266, maybe even 67s. So I'm letting it test the bottom of the symmetrical triangle and looking to see if we get a turnaround on that. So it could be the rule of three back to the upside. There's 66 now showing up. I'm going to take a little bit here. Just took a little bit. Now it's in the 63s. Definitely don't want to see it cut 60 because that's a breakdown of the pattern. So starter on now, looking for the reversal back to the upside. And then, of course, we'll start adding as it starts getting back to the green.
All right, we've got about 4 cents in the money on SBFM. We're looking for about 411s. I'm not going to lie, around 109, 110. I might go ahead and close this one out manually. But we're up about 6 cents on that one. Let's see how PayPal's doing. Come on, PayPal. Come on, PayPal. Airbnb. Let's see. All right.
Adding tier towards FAZ. Just added there a little bit. Now I have 2267, working it up, risking about 7 cents.
My game plan, if I feel courageous enough, is if this SPY breaks the 410 level, and then on the retest of either the 10 or the 15 minute, in my small account challenge with Moomoo, make sure y'all check them out. There's a QR code on top. I will look to go ahead and get one put at least that expires today or tomorrow, depending on what time that happens, if at all. But there's a rejection of VWAP. Do we come back and knock on the door of 410s and head down? That downwards pressure on the SPY is helping the PayPal head to the downside. But again, you've got VWAP and you've got this short-term trend up here as well that we need to break if we want to see more of an opportunity to short it. But SPY's got to break the 410. None of this happens if SPY does not break 410. SQ was an easy short. Well, one, why didn't you tell me? And two, let's see why you believe that. All right, I'm not exactly sure why you believe that, so help me out. Help me out, MD.
All right, team. I really like how that just made that move right there. Now I'm looking really nice in my trade here in FAZ. I like the action, really like it. I'll explain this as the rule of three a little bit later today. Just going to take the trade here, focus on making the money, and then we can talk a little bit more about what my rule of three really consists of and why I take that strategy. It's a really nice rule of three here. There you go. Sorry about that one. All right. Now we'll look to see if I can continue this through the 70s and really start taking off. So there's an up one, up two, down two, up three, down three, recollects volume. Now I'm looking for it to take off to the upside. Rule of three, baby. Let's see if KRE also could go down instead of coming up. All right. I'm looking for banks to come down now. So JPM, I wouldn't want to see it back above VWAP. It's testing that right now. SOXL just went right back down. So maybe the market coming down here a little bit more. SPY put a big candle down here. Can we break the low of the day? I'll see it on the spot. Q's also right back down. It like got back above VWAP, right back down. Feeling good about my trade here. Could add here. I have an order out to add at 22.68. If it doesn't hit, it's okay.
I'll try some HCDI here. Thanks for the shout out. Where is Smoke Tuna? Appreciate that. The reason I took this trade is because 5-minute close above. You also have the previous close and VWAP and the whole number of 850. So I went ahead and got in on a limit order here at 865. I will look to get out at approximately 937 or at about 793. Interesting. Look at that. 937, 793. If you see what I'm saying, it's kind of wicked. But anyway, that's what's going on there. Knock, knock on the 410 for the SPY. Come on, baby. Just break that one to the downside. Let's see how PayPal's doing. PayPal saying, I don't care what the SPY is doing. I'm moving to the upside. So that is interesting to note. So you can see the 5-minute. Nice little up move. SPY. A little bit of a down move. So a little bit of divergence. So this tells me this is not in stock that you want to go ahead and short in PayPal. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we don't do that. We'll find some other stocks.
All right. As I get to 82s, guys, I'm going to take some off. I'll take about 60% off on FAZ and then look for the RIT. Got a lot of volume that came in on that last green candle on the 5 minutes. So I'm feeling good. Just got to let it work. Got to be patient to the rewards and then start to cash out.
Hey, on what's our stock again? I don't even know what stock it is. There we go. Looks like we got, wait, how many shares did I have? Did one share sell? I think one share sold. I think I had 100. And I think one share sold at 937. Good Lord. God bless.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Here's 22.79s. Let's go. Let's see if I can make this get a little bit higher here. I'm looking for a little bit more into that kind of resistance, that first resistance that comes in here into the 81s, 82s. And then the high intraday high is 22.87. So can I get into the 80s and then take some profits? That's what I'm looking for.
See you, Rich. CVNA, someone wanted us to take a look at. Sure, it's obviously headed to the downside. $12 bounce. If you're looking to go ahead and take this one short, maybe around like this 1269 area, we can see what's what. And then let's see what we've got.
Not getting it there. It just came right back down, team. So just got to consider what am I going to do here. Just trying to let the stock work there on FAZ.
SBFM, now we're 6 cents in the money, looking for about 3 more pennies if we can go ahead and get it. You can see a move there. We purchased 1,000 shares at 101, looking to sell at 111s. Disney, by the way. Oh, there we go. Yep, just got our alert. Disney's headed to the downside, so I'm interested in shorting this one. Looks like some order just got filled, and there are all of our HCDIs. That went ahead and just got filled for profit, so that's in the money. Come on, come on, come on.
8 p.m. setting back up for a move up, so that's where it gets a little bit hard. Really, it's all about the KRE going a little bit lower here, so that's helping out. Of course, the Pac West is another way to watch this. Wall, they're actually going up here, so I want to see if they can come and get hit. Wall is going down faster than Pac W right now, so just to point that out if you guys are looking for shorts and things like that. But I'm keeping an eye on Pac W here to see if it just starts tanking and rejecting 5.
All right, 92 holding on for Disney. And there's the bounce from 410. We have not broken meaningfully below 410 here.
Pull back here, right back in FAZ. So not getting that luck that I wanted right now as it pulls right back. And we were so close to profit take there. It went to 79. I would have took some off at 81. It's a little frustrating as this comes back here, but got to try to stick to my risk to reward.
Yeah, PayPal definitely strong. I agree with you there. Again, we talked about it, right? PayPal, look at the move it's had here where the market's been on a downward swing.
All right, guys, just got a pullback fill there that I didn't take off. That's my mistake there for leaving the order out. Now I'm a little bit sized in here in FAZ, so I got to be really smart on this pullback. Got it quick. So just got to be smart. I still have 67 as entry, average entry right now. Just got to watch this right now as we are getting a little bit of a turnaround. Qs are right back towards the upside. They're right on the VWAP. So I'm watching that. If KRE bounces here, I got to get the heck out quick. Not looking good here. There it is, starting to come back down. Definitely don't want to let this go through 60s. It is going through. Pac West tried to make an up move here. So I'm holding off the 2260s here, but it's looking like it's going to cut me out on FAZ. It's a little frustrating because I was up more than the loss there here for a second ago. But I'll tell you right now, the added shares there that I left there is my execution mistake. So that's what's also expanding the loss here if I go through the 2260.
SPY looking to go above VWAP one more time.
We'll see what happens here, team. It's all about, I think, watching these banks today. Gonna get lower or not? It's a test for me. About to get out there, but it was a quick recovery, so I'm giving it a shot here to see if it recovers. Hands on the trigger to get out.
You can see SPY breaking that short-term trend line. Disney, nice 50-cent pop from the 92s. Where's VWAP on this one? Oh, it's well over here.
Not looking good. KRE right back to VWAP. Probably going to take a hit on this FAZ. It's right on the wrist. I'm just letting it get a chance to see if it rejects or not.
I'm going to see if I can go short Disney with 150 shares at 92.85. Here's a SPY hitting VWAP.
Battle's on right now. Back to 62, then right back. So it's just battling right now for me.
SPY 30 cents lower from VWAP there at that 411 test. SBFM, we were in the money by about 6 cents. Now we're in the money by about a penny. I'm just gonna move my
APM
stop loss
pushing
here.
strong. That's the only concern there. JPM pushing really strong there, so not liking that action there.
Move my stop up to about the 97 cents. Managing my risk accordingly. Oh my goodness, just look at that on the Qs. Wow.
Q's retire.
I mean, it's like chopped onions, just chop, chop, chop,
Chopped
chop,
onions,
chop, 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 chop,
baby.
chop, chop, chop. 324. So you have levels on the
Out,
Qs.
FAZ.
If you like the Qs, 324.50 is a level to break to the downside. If you like playing the SPY, 410, right? So you know your levels. You know what's what. Now it's a matter of getting that move that you're looking for and the entry as well. Disney, by the way, in 92.50s.
I think that was a little bit of mismanagement there on FAZ, but hey, took the hit there, team. I'm seeing the banks come right back. So definitely be careful there as you're seeing banks come back. I think that could turn the market back to the upside here. So the Qs could go higher here. Amazon is back to the VWAP. Maybe take a look at that, but I'm on like strike 2. Not feeling it that much today. Made too much money on Google to give up gains, right? So I'm just going to stick around and just probably watch from here on out. It's just not much for me and not feeling it. Now Google pulling back a little bit there. So I'm happy with my Google trade. I can stay on the sideline now. FAZ, bad execution on my end. It happens though, right? Not going to always execute perfectly.
Let's see, 92.85, 92.85.
Amazon pulling back there. Google pulling back. Apple's still down there. This doesn't look good today. Qs came right back down. Look at that. It's just playing with you. Just playing with you. Just doesn't look clear today. And when things are not looking clear, what can I do? Just not trade. Right? And so AMD looks like it's actually coming right back down to the lows. NVIDIA looks like that wants to, it didn't even come back to VWAP. So not a good looking sign that NVIDIA can't make its way back to VWAP there. This doesn't look that good. JPM did though bounce back today. Global banks coming back a little bit. So that's definitely helping that out. Even my NCLH is a little bit in the red. I'm not adding to it today right now just because the market's getting dragged a little bit. So I'm looking what's going to happen that. If we can come back up to the opening price on the SPY, then yeah, we won't look too bad. Same thing for the Qs. Wait till then, at least till we start seeing some true upside. That's what I'm looking at. All right. What else out there? Smoke tuna. Bring back some of the house music. We need some house music, right? House music. Elliott takes a stake in GT. Is that Goodyear? Or let's see. GT. Yeah, Goodyear. I like the pullback on that right now. That's actually good news there. Mention there. I like the mention there. I have no problem taking that shot there. Elliott management usually gets things moving, team. So it's interesting. That's pulling back there. Let's see if it comes back up through the 14s. But I need the market to kind of go green here. Like, tell me that we were into bullish plays. But is it a bad idea there? I don't think it's a bad idea. At least the chart looks interesting there. Let me take a look at that for you guys and show you guys that outlook. All right. GT. Oh. There we go. All right, guys, I'll show you guys that trade here. Looking at GT, Goodyear here. Nice little pullback after a push right out the gates to 15. If it goes through 14, it looks good. But look how the Qs are dragging. That's the hard part right now. The Qs just broke through towards the lows, and they just made a push through that low. That's what it didn't want to see. That doesn't make me excited about the GT trade. Even though it's going against the market, maybe I can go against with that against the market because of a news, but Q's just made lower lows there. SPY now starting to come right back down. It just doesn't look good out there. But then, of course, what happened on FAZ, it's right back, baby, right back. So I'm leaving that alone. It just seems like a lot of chop action out there today. NVIDIA looks like that's right back down to the low. AMD even going lower there. So it doesn't look good in a lot of stocks. Apple never made it back to above VWAP. That's not a good sign either. Microsoft is actually above VWAP, but we'll see if it goes lower. Google, can it hold VWAP here? We'll have to wait and find out.
All right, on SBFM, we went ahead and locked in gains as they went ahead and touched 111, 110 area here from the $1 bounce. So that's in the money. We are out. No shares remaining on that. You've got Disney that we wanted to short here at the 92.85. It did not get all the way up there. Now we'll see if it can break. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is remove this and kind of give it a right there. So this is the area where I want to short. So I want this to break, retest, short, stop loss, see if we can get first targets here, second targets here. That's the game plan that I've got. We're going to be hanging out here for a bit because we've got all access with AB coming up at around 11 o'clock.
Yeah. BT starting to come back up, starting to like pivot there a little bit there. Pull that up. See the quotes that are coming in there. Yeah, you see a lot of bidding action, especially towards the 80s. Where's the sellers? Looks interesting there for GT, man. GT. You know what? Take one last trade on the day, team. This is going to be it. I'll take a shot on GT. Probably going to go with a little bit smaller share size to be smart.
Let's see. Green.
Looking at it now. Really want to see it get some good bidding action. Not seeing much right now. Pulling back. We see some big orders come up on the bid. That's what I'm not seeing in GT. The chart is interesting, but man, the action has slowed down. Qs look like they want lower. It just doesn't look good. It's kind of slow. Not much happening today. I'm with you, Joyce. It just seems like it's that type of day, team.
Might have a chance to go ahead and break on this Disney. That's what I'm keeping an eye on.
All right, time to get some body armor, baby. We need to get sponsored by Body Armor. I drink these things like they're water, man.
Come
Way
on.
better than Gatorade,
Are you going to
man.
break it? Are you going to break it? Are they more expensive than Gatorade?
Tiny bit, I would
Yeah,
say.
okay.
A couple pennies. But you got some better quality stuff in here. At least I would think. You got natural flavors, natural sweeteners, some coconut water. It's only about like 10%, but it helps. And then what I like is the flavors, really. Like, let's just be honest. I drink like Gatorade since I was a little kid, so I'm kind of over it. They got tropical punch, some mango. The orange mango one is really good. Is this how it feels selling May and go away? Yeah, smoked tuna. Well, I'm coming to you. I'm going bluefin tuna fishing, man. Let's go do that. Make some smoked tuna. Bluefin, baby.
Yeah, this is
Crazy. Like, I'm telling you, the only one I'm looking at is GT because that's just because it's setting up. But man, it is like sucking the life out of me. Empty said, love Body Armor.
Yeah, the only one I'm looking at is Disney.
Sydney, I'm out of OJ right now. I'm kind of upset about that. That's why I went with the Body Armor earlier.
Terrible.
I do Body Armors later. Oh, Zunaid. I made some buttered chicken last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man. I was gonna go to Trader Joe's, but I was like, that's a little bit too far right now. So I tried It wasn't too bad. It didn't come out too bad. Look. I'll show you.
That looks delicious. Yeah.
Right, a little naan on the side.
How
right?
long did it take you to make it?
Like I cheated, right? I used a sauce, right? A sauce starter. I'm not gonna lie, I cheated. I used this one. I'll put it full screen so you can see it.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys. So I use this one. Let me see if my camera gets it. There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
Wasn't too bad. Just simmered it for like 20, 30 minutes. It said 15, but
so how does it work? The sauce is already made. You just put that on grilled chicken and that's it?
yeah. So just like make your chicken, saute it, right? And then just toss that sauce in there and then just simmer it. I like that a little bit better than getting the frozen chicken, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
hey, to each his own, right? I mean,
Nah, I get that. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad it went well.
yeah, Patox is I know it's from the UK, so they gotta get their curry, right?
I don't know what patox is. I don't cook, so
I hope that's how you say it too. I think that's how you say
it's
it,
definitely
right?
not. It's not patox, but
How
again,
would
it
you say
depends
it?
on. I would say patak.
Patox?
Yeah,
Close?
close
A little
enough.
better. I want to say it right too, right? It was good. It wasn't good. I'm gonna make my own. I've made my own curry before, but it's hard work, man.
I don't know.
It's hard work. I'll tell you what. Yeah, you need to add a little bit extra. I agree. A little extra, a little kick, because I mean, I like my butter chicken to have a little spice, right?
Yeah, I'm curious how this works. I gotta look into how easy it is to make meals with this.
Q's going lower, and that's why I don't want to take the GT trade, team. As much as it looks good, just the market doesn't look good right now. Q's going lower there, now 324, 32s. JPM came back off, but it did do a little bit of a spike. The banks just seem like all over the place. I feel like no one knows what the hell's going on with PACW, and that's what it really is. Look how PACW is coming right back down now. And so that's where it gets a little bit scary. That's starting to come back down. Wall, right? That's down a little bit. I mean, these are the stocks that I don't want to be trading too much and then get caught, So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still keeping an eye on Disney. As you can tell, it's on my screen. I'm staring at it like a hawk, but on the back of my mind, I'm also keeping an eye on SPY, the 410 break, currently at 410.26. It's all right, Jet. Way to only take one trade and not force a second one to make back the losses. A lot of folks have trouble with that, so way to stay disciplined thus far.
Yeah. That's
PayPal breaking resistance. Okay.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, team. It's so important. Knowing when the market feels like it's just working towards your type of strategies and hitting the gas pedal, yeah, that's going to make you a lot of money those days. But also hitting the brake pedal when you're seeing it not work to your strategies, that's also very important because it's going to do what? It's going to save your downturn. And to tell you the truth, I always think about saving the downturn a lot more than the uprides because that's what we're trying to avoid, really. You can lose like a little bit. The big thing you don't want on your equity is huge down curves, right? Those are what destroy your things. You're just looking at your money just evaporating. You want to always start getting that up wave, right? And so bigger up waves than the down waves. Look at your equity waves on your accounts. That's what I look at a lot of the times because it's not going to be one straight ride. And you can see it here on Moomoo, right? This is what I talk about, the equity wave, right? The equity wave in your account is so important, right? So battle with that, right? Try to control the down waves so they're a little bit smaller and a lot bigger when you make the up wave. You see here how I was coming down and it's kind of like a little U, but look how one good day that went. You see how quickly I went up? That's what we want to be trying to do with our equity wave. And I always talk about there's waves to this game. My man said it right.
All the way up.
All the way up.
What were you saying, my bad?
No, that's literally where I get it from, Junaid, too. There's levels to this game. That's it. It's levels. Step it up, baby. Look at Junaid with his fancy camera. He can move all around.
Oh,
Well,
so that's why when I do
He
this,
can pivot.
When I do this, I'm not like being a jerk, being like, "Hey, stop with that camera." That's usually the command that like tells it to stop moving around. So I promise it's not like I did that once on a call. I went like this, and the person thought I was being rude, telling her to like stop talking, and I was like, "I'm so sorry. That's not what I'm doing here." My apologies. Promise you I'm not that rude.
I could see you being like, yeah, I'm sorry. I did not. That was
Yeah.
not.
See, there
Just
we
tell them you're like Yoda, man. You can tell your camera to do
Yeah,
things.
be like, you know what? Start. Matter of fact, I think if you do this, like it does some other weird shit, and it's just weird. But anyway,
Yeah, it's a cool camera. I know which one you got there. It's pretty dope.
yeah. Come on, let's go ahead and break this 92. We're waiting for you to break this 92. 92 break, 92 break, 92 break.
FAZ coming back there after it washed me out through the pattern. The pattern was there, but to tell you the truth, it's setting up more on like a daily or weekly pattern. So that's what I would be looking at if I'm looking at FAZ a little bit more, is trying to use more of the daily levels than using even the intraday action, because the 5-minute washed me out today. The 1 hour would have gave me a nice little pullback opportunity off 2240s. So just to keep that in mind, how sometimes using bigger time frames can actually help us get advantage. All right, what's going on out there, team? Is Palantir's ride done? I don't know. I didn't ride it all the way up, Smoke, but I'll take a look at it. Let's go ahead. Let's see what we see there. I know it was going up higher a little while ago, but let's take a look here. So it looks like it's coming right back down to the 970s. I mean, it was a good ride, right? I mean, you got up there to the 1030s eventually. I only rode this for about 50 cents. Maybe missed out on 70 cents there. But hey, that's all you can get sometimes, right? You got to take what you can get. Good trade on that trade. So we'll see if Palantir could come back. It's pulling back. Really, my concern would be if it would crack through kind of this sideways action. So I'd go put a horizontal line on this action around 966. Break that, get to 950s. Yeah, I'd be a little bit concerned there. Now Q's starting to show a little bit of a turnaround. Wouldn't you know it? It seems like a really, really choppy day in kind of a negative fashion, right? Because we keep leaking. And then if anything, we get these big bars to the downside on the Qs. Seems like technology letting go a little bit, bank worries coming back, and concerns are taking over. And that's kind of sucky, because really I was in a real bullish tune yesterday. And that was a lot of it, was that the bank concerns were going away and we were getting CPI to show us that inflation was coming down. But just as that happens, there you see it, some more chop in the markets.
Yeah, you've got VWAP possibly going to be coming up for Qs. It's approximately 50 cents or so away. I'm looking at short, but for some reason it says I can't. I don't know what. I don't know why it won't let me short. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. 100 shares, short.
Don't worry, Raz, you're not missing much, because I can tell you that the action has slowed down. It just doesn't seem like the best trading day today. At least that's my perspective. I think Zunaid even feeling like it's just not the best type of day, right? It's not feeling like that today. So, Raz, you said you weren't planning on doing much. Well, guess what? Not too bad, my friend.
If you just look at the Qs here, we can go. You can just see it's just been chop. Right. So not much there.
Yeah, Raz, and it's okay to come in, and maybe what I do on certain days that I don't want to trade, but I want to maybe watch a trading show, is I leave my brokerage closed, and I have rules that I won't open them, right? Like, as much as I can see a really nice trade, if I told myself I'm not trading and I'm going to tune into a show like us, because I mean, we're pretty fun to watch, right? Just overall. But other than that, right, I think the important part there is having some rules set for yourself. And we're always going to look out for our viewers, right? You don't want to trade, we're okay with that. We won't be mad at you because you're not trading. Like, there's days where you guys see me do strike 3, and then what do? I close all brokerage. I close everything down that could get me to trade that 4th trade. So that I have to go through this whole process of opening them, logging in, this whole process that would get me to think about what the hell I'm doing.
There you go. When I went ahead and took my loss on the Q short as I went ahead and broke VWAP. I mean, just what a nice little candle here on, as you can see, not as much volume, but that's because we still have approximately 11 minutes. Yep. Not just that, so does the SPY. So here's a 5-minute chart. You can see the trend line test, I guess you can call it. Reject VWAP, trend line test. Now we're back above.
Amazon VWAP bound, Google VWAP bound. Now see if Apple turns around, as it's been all red all day. and now starts to come back. That's one of the ones that I look at later in the day. Like if you're seeing it red all day and now you're seeing it come back, look how it came back to around hourly support, now starting to make its way back. And the 5 minute says a nice little move there for Apple. I'd look for pullbacks to VWAP. That's around 172.79. But right now, I think I'm done for the day. We are getting some up action, but too much trot for me. About 5-8 minutes left, and we'll get AB to join us. We got a little bit of all access coming up for you guys. Definitely check out Moomoo, right? If you guys want to check this out, I'll put the QR code right on the screen here. Going to go ahead and throw up the link for you guys. But like always, another thing that Moomoo does often is they do these paper trading accounts. And a lot of times people think that, paper trading accounts, like, why the hell would I want to be a part of that? Well, the truth is that they have some pretty damn good cash coupons that come with these accounts, these trading accounts. I've even thought about it. I mean, free $1,500 if you win it. I mean, that ain't going to be bad. I won't be mad at them. But yeah, definitely check it out, team. I'll give you guys a link if you guys want to learn a little bit more, of course, about Moomoo. And I don't have the stream deck going, but I was going to do a nice little move for that. But I'll throw this up. And we've been talking already how they made a special deal only for Benzinga Pro members, right? The exclusive limited time. Get that extra stocks, right? You can get up to 20 free stocks today, baby. Get those, babe. We'll see what happens. I haven't seen anybody tell me they got the 20. Who's going to be the first one? Let me know, team. All right.
Hey.
It's a battle type of day, man. We got to keep it going. It ain't going to be easy.
At this point, I might need to go outside and wake myself up in the sun.
What, Zunaid? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
I was
Money
really
Mitch
afraid I'd be the
as
one that would
Gladiator.
get killed there, so I'm glad.
I got you, baby. Let's go.
I really thought you were going to throw that at my face. I was like, he's about to kill me live on air.
Nah, we won't execute you yet, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Here's a spy, though. Having a little bit of struggle around VWAP as it broke above for a moment, and then now to the downside we go. Why did she? Oh, she sent me that. Look, we're about to wrap up here in a few minutes, and I've got to go get some meetings going as well. So here's two things that I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
2.5. SPY 410. A break of this and the retest. I'm looking to go short with a vengeance because I won't be trading tomorrow. I'll be traveling. So this is kind of like my Friday, if you will. That's one. 2 is going to be Disney on this break of 92. Similar story. Break, retest. Looking to go ahead and play that one to the short side. The half that I mentioned is going to be the Qs because you already broke it, but it kind of came back and took me out on a short. So if you like to play the Qs, keep an eye on this 324, but it's just not as clean as my SPY take here at 410 and as my Disney at 92. So first preference is a SPY. Second preference is Disney. That's what I've got. That's what
All
I'm
right,
rocking with.
Junaid. All right, man. You can go ahead and hop out. I know you guys do your little steppy action, get your stuff done.
Get my water, man.
You'll be back next week, though. You'll be back with us on Monday. Yes. Get ready for another week, of course.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And then I'll be there Tuesday through Friday, and I think you're gone the last few days, right?
Yeah. I'll be out some of the days there coming up, but let's go ahead. Nice to see you like always, my friend.
See you,
Good trading with you, bro.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, I'm putting up my screen. Zunaid's hopping out of here. We'll get AB to join in just a few minutes here as we get you guys over to All Access. Let's take a look into the market. Let's take a look at what is hot today. Of course, I'll just go to the Explore tab. Let's take a look at best performing right now. And I really love how they have these themes, right? So it looks like Double 11 Shopping Festival. So what does that show me? Oh, so there's a shopping festival move, and that's why you're getting maybe a move in JD. That's why maybe we're getting a move in Baba. Baba was a really nice trade there. So it looks like they're having this China shopping event, and that's why we're seeing the lift here. Did anybody know that before we started? I don't know, but maybe Moomoo helping us out there because I didn't know that one. And I'll tell you that right now. That just gave me some more insight on why this was making this move. PDD with a nice little move here also. I'd take a look there to see if you get a pullback towards 63.30s on the pullback action. But also, I mean, take a look at JD. JD is right out that VWAP. Baba wanted higher. That made a nice little VWAP bounce. We'll see if that can continue. So there you go. That's why it's important to kind of catch things there, right? Search engine up for about 4.6. That's now you're talking about search engines, right? You're talking about how Google had made that massive move. You see luxury goods doing well today. That's interesting. Tapestry, Signet Jewelers having a pretty decent day. Even some NFT type of plays. You got Roblox in there, Tencent Music having a decent day, Alibaba. Quantum Computer having a decent day there, but that's just kind of more of it because it's in Google. So I wouldn't really stress too much. But I like it has also how many of these stocks are moving because you guys know how I'm all about the industries and kind of looking into that, giving me good ideas about what's making moves. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is going on here. We are starting to kind of run up a little bit higher here. And as we do that, I'm starting to look to see if this industry heat map starts turning into green, right? What is slowly into the red and not as red as it started the day? Let's take a look at the sector outlook too here. As I see energy slowly start leaking into the green, that means taking a look at like stocks like XOM starting to come back a little bit right now. So some oil names starting to make a move here. So I could keep an eye out on some oil names to see what happens there. But we are starting to get a little bit of a lift there. Let's take a look here. XOM, you can see that a little bit higher. Maybe Oxy. I know that a lot of people are looking for Warren Buffett mentions for Oxy to see if he buys down here at 56, 57. It's down there, right? Will this be the bounce right now? This actually looks pretty interesting. Maybe for a little bit of a swing trade on the day here for start swing trade. I'd have to risk off of 57 right now. I actually don't mind this trade here a little bit higher. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take a start swing trade here. I'm going to get a little starter here. Just grab some at 57.24. It just went to 57.25. Got some at 57.24. This is a swing trade. Small entry there to risk off 57. We'll see what happens there a little bit later today. You guys can catch me on start swing trading to check this position out a little bit later today. For me, what I'll do is I'm just going to risk off of about 0.6% here. 56.92 can set a stop right there. And if it comes back and stops me out, let it be it. We'll see what happens there on Oxy. If it wants a little bit higher here, it does look like an interesting play here. You can see here a nice little setup here. If it can go higher through that, won't be looking too bad at all. So let's see if we can get that move, of course. Go ahead and click off of it here. But we'll see if this can kind of hold this pullback, get back up there towards the 57.61 as we're seeing energy slightly in green. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. What's in the red today? You got basic materials deep into the red. You got healthcare in the red, utilities in the red. And of course, I'm taking a look at it from the open. Those areas do not look good by any means. So names like in the steel play, right? Like X, I would definitely, you're seeing it bounce there, but it's pretty red overall. It's green from the open, but just be careful on names like that. It is getting a little bit of a bounce back. AA now starting to bounce back towards the VWAP. There is some names deeper into the red. Let's talk about those that are in the red. Gold names turning around, going down there today. GOLD, you can see that. Coal is also taking a hit there. AMR pulling back right now. You can take a look at it with BTU. Those are pulling back. We'll see what happens there. Lumber plays, copper plays. Copper plays, of course. You got kind of like FCX. You guys can look at that. That's Freeport. You guys can see how that's been pulling back a little bit there. We'll see what happens on those types of plays. Specialty chemicals, how are those doing today? LAC pulling right back down after recent moves up. LTHM is looking a little bit better there, but not the best moves. I know ALB has been making a recent move. That's holding a little bit of a pullback. We'll see what happens there. Some healthcare names, what's doing good and bad in healthcare. Bad today is drug manufacturers. Some specialty names are definitely getting hit. And some of the bigger boys. TAK is probably one of those stocks that's really causing this downturn. TAK, of course, it's a $57 billion company, now down about 4.7% and 3% from the open. Of course, this is definitely going to drag the industry down a little bit. We got to keep our eyes on different names here, even CTLT, Caledon. This one, nice little green pop, but right there, kind of washing out there, kind of a little bit of a trap to the upside on the day. Could take a look at just the daily chart to see how this is doing, but doesn't look that great. Let's go to the 1 week chart. You can see how this is just going lower and lower. CTLA doesn't look good there for drug manufacturers. Also, biotech going lower today. Not what you want to see, as you're seeing some of these stocks really get hit. Moderna getting hit really hard, now down to 126.67. Is this COVID vaccine things that are affecting Moderna? Who knows right now? But I can tell you right now, they're definitely hitting them hard today on the biotechs. Drug research also taking a hit. It just doesn't look good out there today in healthcare. That's going to do it for my outlook. Like always, you guys can keep up with everything I do. Money Mitch at BZ. Of course, on Twitter. Give me a nice little follow. Spies coming back on the day after a really choppy session. Now starting to climb are the Qs. Keep your eyes on the tech names like Google to see if those can keep pushing. Almost right back to the 118. All right, that's going to do it for today. Like always, you guys can check out Moomoo. I'm going to throw up the link one last time and then get out of here. I'll let AB take the lead. All right.
All righty, y'all. Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Benzinga's All Access, where we bring you exclusive access to executives at really cool companies. We've got some exciting ones with us today. We're gonna start with Seek VR. We have Mary Spio, hanging out backstage. So without further ado, let's go ahead and give Mary one of our very special Zinger Nation welcomes and bring her on. Mary, how are you doing today?
Good. Hi, Aaron. Great to be here. That was quite a welcome. Thank you.
Oh, well, only the best for you, Mary. So before we get started, do you want to give us just a brief overview of what Seek Metaverse is, what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. So we are a metaverse platform. Seek is a metaverse platform that enables creators to be able to connect with their fans, to generate new revenue streams through NFTs, virtual concerts, and other events in virtual worlds.
Got it. So I'm curious about the actual hardware involved. So I know there's kind of like a 4D headset and headphones. How do these work?
So we have, in terms of the physical product, so virtual reality is one option in which fans can connect to creators, but we enable access with or without a VR headset on desktop, mobile, and various devices. The way the 4D headphones work, they work just like any other headphones. The big difference is that they have the spatial audio technology, which allows you to hear above, below, and all around, which it was created for virtual reality, but it's now being used for everything from sports. I see a lot of athletes using it. And also, gamers are using it as well because of the immersive nature of the audio.
Got it. So what's it actually like? What's the experience like attending a concert in the metaverse? I mean, that's something that I've never done.
So the experience feels like, it's as close to being in a real concert. So it's as close as possible to being in a real concert. You can actually feel the energy of other people that are attending. And you also have these very interactive moments with the artist where, you get to see things that normally you wouldn't be able to see, because you can be very, very up close. You can be on stage, backstage, and everywhere pretty much.
Got it. So last year, I mean, in the investing world especially, metaverse became one of the hottest topics. Everyone wanted to invest in the metaverse some way. It's kind of cooled off. What do you think people that are not looking at the metaverse right now as an investment opportunity, what do you think those people are missing?
So in terms of, looking at the metaverse, just with any technology, heats up and then it cools down. AI is hot now, but I can guarantee you in just a little bit, the novelty is going to wear off, much in the same way. I think the excitement about Web3 is because it's the future of, it's the future of blockchain, is the future of crypto, is the future of virtual currencies. And so we're headed towards an inevitable future and evolution for the internet, where we're no longer going to be just, having like the type of interaction that we're having now, but we'll have the ability to embed ourselves inside of these different environments. So it's something that's going to happen. And so it's something that, in my personal view, is worth, continuing to look at. The players, the main players are going to come on top, because a lot of people that kind of jumped on the bandwagon have fallen to the, to the side. And the real players are the ones that are left really continuing to build.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned that you think that the novelty of AI will kind of start to wear off. It won't be as hot. Why do you think that?
Because even if you look at a lot of the AI apps, and the growth, it's not, in the beginning the growth was just mind blowing, and now I see a lot of parallels to the way metaverse was super white hot, and then all of a sudden kind of tapered off because the novelty began to wear off for some people, and it's the same parallel path that I see with AI as well. And of course, we still haven't even reached the crest, the peak of where the AI excitement is going to get, but it's going to get there, and then it's going to come, taper off a little bit. And I just see the same pattern with technology. So I saw this with the metaverse, and I'm seeing it with AI as well.
Got it. And then, so I'm curious what type of artists, content creators, et cetera, are you guys currently working with, and like, what is the plan to add more types of big name creators?
So, I mean, we are working with artists the like of Lady Gaga. We've worked with Ziggy Marley. I mean, we're Bon Jovi. We're working with a lot of global superstars, and the list of global superstars looking to establish their presence in the metaverse continues to grow. And a big difference, between what we're doing versus, let's say, having a concert in Fortnite or in a video game, is that this is actually a digital service provider. So we're no different than iTunes or Spotify. Artists are actually looking at this as a bona fide platform for them to generate new revenue streams in the metaverse, new revenue streams in virtual worlds. And we're providing the tools for them to be able to do that easily.
Got it. I can see how that'd be, really attractive for artists, because right now, I mean, with the current streaming setup, I know a lot of artists get essentially screwed over, where there'll be a, Spotify song that gets 100,000 streams and they'll get like a few bucks for that or something.
There are very few avenues for generating revenue from streaming, right? Because if you think about YouTube, when YouTube was initially set up, it was set up as a promotional vehicle. And so it's possible for an artist to get 1 billion streams. And then if they're not in the right geography, because they monetize based on advertising. So if, let's say, you're in Bolivia and you get 1 billion streams, but if YouTube doesn't have an ad agency there buying, advertising on there, you're not going to get as much as somebody else that's maybe is in the UK or in the US and so on. And so we see that for a lot of global artists, they're now past that phase of, I want to promote my work, to once they've built their user base and once they've built the audience, they now want to monetize that audience. And they want to be able to do that through these ticketed paid concerts, through NFTs, through avatar wear. You can, have a t-shirt and your artwork and so many aspects of their artistry that maybe are not necessarily signed over to the label. Now they can monetize in the metaverse using our platform.
Beautiful. All right, well, Mary, I've got one final question for you. It's kind of a two-sided question. So, what developments in the overall metaverse are you excited about? throughout the next couple of years? And then, the same thing with developments, but specifically at Seek, are you excited about over the next couple of years?
So what I'm most excited about is the direction towards what we're seeing, the tremendous growth that we're seeing in avatar customizations overall. People are really looking at ways of expressing themselves through their avatars. Avatar commerce is growing, where you see big brands like Prada and so on now you know, um, building fashions and styles for the metaverse. So I'm really seeing that as a great opportunity for self-expression, but also for mainstream growth, of the metaverse. What we're most excited about at Seek is the ways in which that we see people using the platform. So we have different organizations that are using the Seek platform for meetings, for conferences, and then so people are using it way beyond the virtual concerts. A big area of growth that we've seen is also, even what has surprised us is how much the avatar fashions and the avatar customizations are growing. It's probably the fastest growing area for us right now. So you're going to see us putting more into the ability to customize the avatars, and then also offering NFT utility. So for example, we're teaming up with the Dwayne Wade Celebrity Sports Academy to offer their jerseys as
Wow.
NFTs in the metaverse. And for those buying those NFTs, it's not just a picture, but rather it allows you to jump higher when you're playing basketball in the Seek metaverse. It allows you to run faster. So the trend towards utility, particularly for NFTs, and in Seek, and then also in the general industry. So I'm very excited about all that.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing. I'm excited for all the different cool things we're going to be able to do. I'm a gamer myself, and I've realized, over time, it's only going to be able to do more and more things when it comes to the metaverse and VR. So, Mary, thank you for joining us on Benzinga today. I really enjoyed learning more about Seek, and I'm sure our audience did as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Alrighty, we are going to move into our next company. We are going to bring on Andrew Fox, the founder and CEO of Charge Enterprises, cool energy company. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Mr. Fox on Benzinga's All Access. Andrew Fox, welcome to Benzinga's All Access. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you, Aaron?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So before we get into it, do you want to just give us a brief overview of what Charge Enterprises is, what you guys are doing?
Sure. We just reported, first quarter earnings yesterday. We design, engineer, install, and maintain critical infrastructure for both telecom and electric vehicles. And we delivered about 193.5 million in revenue in the first quarter. And
wow.
So we have a nice little business here.
Yeah, so explain to me the overall business structure, because I understand you guys kind of have a more complicated or there's some different things going on.
Well, we have two operating segments. We have infrastructure, which is the, as I just said before, the design, engineer, install, and maintenance of critical EV infrastructure and telecom infrastructure. So think about cell phone towers. And our thesis around this is 35 plus years ago, just like you didn't have the infrastructure for cell phones, and now today they're everywhere. We don't have the infrastructure for electric vehicles, but they're going to be everywhere over the next 25 to 30 years. And so we're building the infrastructure. And then we have a telecom division. And that was our legacy business that we bought. It was our first acquisition that gave us back office operations to stand up our public company.
Got it. So something I'm curious about, Andrew, the values that drive Charge. And what is PEER, P-E-E-R?
So we're prompt, we're ethical, we have empathy, and we're reliable. We want people to know that our mission, we're a mission-based business. And so we truly kind of want to stand behind making sure that all of our stakeholders recognize exactly how we think about the world. What is our mindset? And so our mindset is we want to treat everybody like a peer. So when you call us, we want to call you back. We have, empathy. We have, a strong conviction around doing the right thing. And I think a lot of businesses oftentimes need that North Star. And so for us, we put it out as part of our North Star in terms of we want to get to the top being graceful. And so we felt like it was an important thing to articulate in terms of how we want to operate our business.
Got it. So you announced recently that you're on track to hit your goal of having 1,000 retail electric vehicle charging stations by 2025. Where exactly are you on this path, and what are some potential challenges that you may run into?
Yeah, so we stated that we wanted to get to 1,000 dealerships. So we're very, very focused on the OEMs and solving problems for the largest automotive companies. And so we're not everything to everybody EV. We really are laser focused on where we see the largest kind of need for this infrastructure and the mandate, and that's in the 18,000 US auto dealers. Through Q1, we've achieved 15% of our goal. So we're 15% of the way there through the end of first quarter. But most of the big mandates for EV infrastructure just really started coming online in the fourth quarter of last year. And so I think the key to success for any business is to focus. So we're very focused on that segment. And the total addressable market there is in the many billions of dollars. And so rather be a specialist in an area that has the mandate for EV infrastructure as opposed to an amenity that a lot of places are putting in now.
Got it. What has Charge been eligible for any, IR or Inflation Reduction Act loans or DEA loans, anything like that?
Yeah, so our business model isn't really contingent upon the federal spending. We're going where the mandate is. So we coordinate those incentives for our customers, but we're not a direct beneficiary of it. And it's really not our business model to be kind of on the, on the government funding side. We're in the private sector with a mandate to do something, as opposed to oftentimes municipalities are like, on your mark, get set, slow down. And so we didn't want to be in the world where we were waiting on government funding for our business to be successful. We've identified a private sector that has a mandate to do this. We've recruited heavily from Ford and General Motors and some of the largest automotive companies in the world to solve this pinch point. And this pinch point is really, it's the first time in history that the dealers have had to put in infrastructure to refill their vehicles. In the past, they went to the petrol station around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's certainly like a very niche market, right? You have electric vehicles that, it's pretty almost a certain now at this point that electric vehicles are going to continue to grow in the United States and other parts of the world. So you kind of found this hole in the market. Well, like dealers are going to need to, charge those cars and whatnot. So that's I think always a good idea to try to find those holes, especially in such an emerging market.
Of course. We're capital light in our approach to the market. And, the EV industry, because it's so new, the vast majority of companies had to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to build their marketplace. We wanted to be a capital light infrastructure provider, which meant that we did not have to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to achieve our business goals.
Yeah, and I mean, again, just candidly, I love these types of business ideas because I think a lot of times people, want to start the next Apple or Google or something, but it's like, well, if we, find this emerging market, do something to do it really well and be the leader in this space, we could have a really successful company. You don't need to be, like the next biggest, AI company in the world or whatever it is. The hottest thing.
We like the pickaxe and shovels. We have great partners in Island Capital and Arena that have given us kind of the flexibility to build. But I think that what we recognize is that the pickaxe and shovel part of the business can't be outsourced to a foreign country. It has to be done locally. And so of our 400 people, the vast majority of our team members are engineers and electricians, which are highly coveted anyway in this market. And so we like the positioning that we have. And then as the market forces continue to take over and these systems are utilized more and more, our ambition is to be like an American Tower, where one day we'll own and operate these. But today, because the utilization is so low, better to focus on kind of the demand now. And so we're a great service provider today.
Got it. Well, Andrew, I know at the top of the interview you mentioned the earnings that you guys recently announced. Can we go a little bit into that revenue? Like, where exactly is most of that coming from, and specifically, where's the growth coming from?
Yeah, so we grew 19% from first quarter last year to this year. So last year we did 163 million in revenue for the quarter. This year we did 193. We increased our gross profit pretty substantially as well. And, we had about, our gross profit increase of about 9%. But, a lot of our revenue is still coming from our legacy business that has, a lower margin, but that's okay because we're using the invested cash from that to build out our EV. And for the first time ever, our backlog in EV and infrastructure surpassed over $100 million. And what we're now breaking out that over 20% of that is now our EV business. So you can start to see the acceleration of our EV business coming online, and we're having exponential growth in EV, and we're having double-digit growth organically in everything else. So it's an exciting time for us, but EV is where all the emphasis of growth is. But we're lucky that we've got a diversified revenue stream, especially in this market environment where there's a tremendous amount of volatility.
Yeah, and so Andrew, I know that you mentioned, a lot of these things would have to be done domestically, but do you have any any sort of plans to go international to try to find any customers in Europe or other places?
Yeah, I mean, it would be almost criminal as the CEO of an EV infrastructure company not to be studying what's going on in Europe. They've accelerated, the advancement and adoption of EVs. And so, yes, I think that you'll see us be very opportunistic in markets. We just did a deal with Eaton. Eaton operates in over 100 countries. We just did another deal with Octel. These are big global EV SE companies that are partnering with Charge to handle the pinch points of their customer, which is actually the installation part of it and the maintenance part of it. And so I think you'll see us continue to do deals like we did with Eaton. And just to put it in perspective, we're a startup in most cases, although we're a little bigger than a traditional startup. But companies like Eaton that have been around for decades and decades and decades, the real reason why we're able to leverage and build those relationships is we're really solving a critical problem, which is our services that we sell are essential. If you are a hardware company, you need a company like ours to install and maintain the systems once you sell it. And so I think you'll see us adopt a strategy as we learn more and more in Europe that we have to be there in order to be successful.
Yeah, that makes sense. So from a regulatory standpoint, right? I mean, Europe might have some more stricter laws about certain environmental stuff, but I mean, what do you anticipate? Like, do you anticipate any major changes or shifts in the regulatory environment regarding electric vehicles in the United States?
Well, domestically, and we have these 4-year cycles where they oscillate back and forth, whereas Europe and China have mandates that seem longer term. And so, on the right, I think the right loves EVs because they create jobs. The left likes it because it saves the earth. And so hopefully the mandate from the federal government will continue to get stronger and stronger. Remember, much like cell phones 35 years ago, a lot of people are still scratching their heads wondering, why do I need an electric vehicle? And the fact of the matter is that's because there's limited choice right now with electric vehicles. As the market builds and adopts more, I think standards will be set and the gravitational forces will start to pull over and consumers will just want EVs because A, they're better for the environment. They're oftentimes a little bit more enjoyable to drive. But at the end of the day, the largest automotive companies have committed $650 billion to transition from ICE to electric vehicles. So this is now coming and the infrastructure has to be built. And so I think we're positioned quite nicely to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a very opportunistic position to be in right now. Someone in the chat, let's see, is asking, Armor Plate's asking, do you guys own the chargers or do you sell them? I don't know.
Yeah, so we are agnostic to the hardware, and this is very, very important. We do not want to be in the commoditized hardware business. It gives us the flexibility being an agnostic provider that we work with everybody. We work with SEMA Connect, we work with ChargePoint, we work with Eaton. So we design, engineer, install, and maintain this critical infrastructure for the hardware manufacturers that make it, which is why our business model is a little different than just the EV SEs.
Got it. That makes sense. And then Raz is asking, I know we already talked about the international presence, but are there any direct competitors right now?
There aren't competitors. Well, we have fragmented small mom and pop companies that certainly could do what we do. But the fact of the matter is, there aren't too many nationwide players focusing on the automotive sector quite the way we are. And I'm fortunate, I'm mentored by the ex CEO of General Motors. I understand the pinch points within this industry. It turns out the long pole in the tent in terms of seeing the mass adoption of EV is finding qualified companies like ours to install and maintain the systems as opposed to make them. And on the international side, we do have an international business. We generate revenue from a multitude of countries today in our telecom sector. We anticipate that as we grow our EV infrastructure business, our goal would be to see the same thing transpire internationally on the EV hardware, on the EV infrastructure side as well.
Got it. Well, Andrew, I mean, it's been great having you on today and learning more about Charge Enterprises. Sounds like you guys are doing some really cool things. I'm really into the EV space, plan on buying an electric car with my next car. So always love talking on the subject. If you ever want to come on in the future, just let me know.
Aaron, thank you for having me. Have a great day. And I would just end by saying that this is an important time in terms of the adoption of EV. And so the infrastructure is a very, very critical component of it. So thank you for having, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Andrew, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, guys, like Andrew said, anytime you have an emerging market like electric vehicles, these pick and shovel plays are going to start looking very attractive to a lot of investors. Well, thank you to everyone who joined us today for live trading, and then Benzinga's All Access. Of course, we spoke to Mary from Seek as well as Andrew from Charge Enterprises, two really exciting companies. You know, I mean, like both in very emerging markets, very growthy markets. So we'll definitely have to keep track of these companies and hopefully talk to them again in the future. We will be starting Benzinga Live here in about 10, 15 minutes. I'll be talking to Stephen Hode at the beginning. We'll be going over some European stocks, some Forex, and some different things. And then a little bit later, we'll be talking to a short seller about this news about how JP Morgan wants to ban short selling. Then at 12:30, we'll be talking to carparts.com CEO. And that should be it for today. So please, everyone, make sure to join us on Benzinga Live. The redirect should be set to do that. Let me double check real quick. And then, as always, let me know once we start Benzinga Live what you guys want to be watching, what stocks. Anyone watching the Jeopardy thing that's going on this week? I wasn't asking you, Carl. I was just in the audience. All right, guys. Redirect is set. We'll be back live in about 10 minutes. Peace and love, y'all.